The one message that is very clear is that, hey, we're here, we've got the solution for you, and we're going to figure this out together, even if we're figuring it out along the way. Be that consistent voice of reason, hope, and setting the vision. We live in consistent change. When it comes to value, we have to be clear. What value is that we're offering? I want to work with you. I'm impressed with what I see. And that changes the game. We're moving faster into a world that requires you to attract those people that want to work with you.
Hey, everybody. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Reside Platform Podcast. This is Suneet Agarwal, and I have a real treat for all our viewers and listeners today. None other than Mr. Tristan Ahumada, my bro. Tristan, what's up, man?
What's up, dude? It's really nice seeing you and talking to you.
Yeah, we were just talking prior, probably for too long because we were just excited to see each other. And the reason that I'm so excited, let me tell the story that I always tell every time I introduce Tristan to somebody, is about 9 years ago, I was a pretty green agent and I wanted to make more money. And I figured out the way to make more money was to get really good at lead gen and understanding the whole lead game. Prior to that, I had spent a couple bucks on Zillow, $400 a month. I didn't know anything else about leads. So I was at Keller Williams at the time, and the team leader took me to lunch. I ordered some squash soup. It was delicious. And I said, where do I get leads? And she goes, I want you to go to this Facebook group called Lab Coat Agents. Ladies and gentlemen, Tristan created that Facebook group. So I'm a Lab Coat Agents, super green agent, commenting on everything. And Tristan was so grateful. I started blowing him up in the DMs, asking him questions, got his number, called him, totally that guy. And this man, so kind, so abundant, was my first mentor in real estate from afar. Right? And dude, you totally guided me into understanding about leads, understanding about CRMs, understanding about leverage, understanding about social media. So number one, everybody who is listening and watching, go over to Lab Coat Agents, a Facebook group right now. If you're one of the 2 agents in the country that isn't a member of it, and just join it. The perspective that you'll get will be invaluable, right? Because it's a big melting pot. So Tristan, talk to us about a little bit about Lab Coat Agents these days.
Yeah, man, I think Lab Coat Agents has taken a shape of its own over the last few years, but I do notice something, and it happens every few years now that we've been running it for 10 years, is that
years, way to go, dude.
Every few years when shit hits the fan, right? COVID, NAR settlement, right? We become the source people go to find certainty. And because we're so large, right?
Yeah.
We've got the newsletter, all the social sites, the Facebook group. And I find that when it comes to that, as leaders, everyone here listening in, you have the opportunity to do the same thing. You just have to show up consistently and make sure that the message is relevant to the audience that's listening in. And the one message that is very clear is that, hey, we're here, we've got the solution for you, and we're going to figure this out together, even if we're figuring it out along the way. That's really been the message lately.
And that group gives so many perspectives. It's easy to go down a rabbit hole sometimes, right? Oh, so if you're watching and listening, my advice, don't go down the friggin' rabbit hole. But it's good to understand the perspectives and see the opportunities that every challenge creates. And Lab Coat Agents is ground zero for that. You have any thoughts on that, Tristan?
Yeah, man. I think you're going to have rabbit holes everywhere. It's a good opportunity to look at what the industry as a whole thinks, right? You've got those people that are focused and they know they're going to make it regardless of what happens. And then you've got the other people who are scared and they don't know if this is for them anymore, or they're saying, hey, I'm out. Thank you so much. So you are seeing both sides of it. And then people that are just sitting back and waiting, it's like, I'm not sure. Yes, and maybe no, right? Which is kind of like a microcosm of what's actually happening in the real estate world, which is very cool because we have a small glimpse of about 160, just the Facebook group, 165,000 people that are coming in and out and saying, hey, this is what we think. This is our challenges. These are our problems. Oh, this is very cool. Hey, have you tried this? Hey, what about this? And it just becomes a really cool place to see what's actually happening.
Yeah. And I want to give you props too, because you as the leader of that group, you're messaging, dude. And I know that you're writing it, unless you got some fancy prompt for Chat GPT you haven't shared with me, but you're writing it. But it's a message of overcoming hope and challenges. And you have like, dude, you somehow lead 165,000 agents, right? Like that's big, actually coming up with those messages, because I'm super curious. And so it's just a message of hope and being kind, right? So
yeah, I think you pay attention to what the culture is in the group, and anytime it goes a little bit off to the side, you're like, I think I need to step in and remind them why we're here, and remind them that it's not easy, that we're all going through shit, or we've all gone through something, and it's good to just refocus and say it's going to be hard, but we're going to figure this out together. I think at the core, that's what, if you look at what leadership is, it's like us consistently reminding people, this is the vision. This is the overall place we're heading to, everyone. We're going to get to it. This is how we're going to figure it out. We're in this together. And just be that consistent voice of reason, hope, and setting the vision.
Yeah, dude, so good. Love that. Thank you for that. So since you did mention the NAR settlement, and he's getting the perspective of the entire group, what are your thoughts on that whole thing, macro view?
Yeah, man, I think you're seeing a few different types of people coming in and saying, this is what we think. One, nothing is going to change. You're seeing the people that actually mean nothing's going to change. And then you're seeing the people are like, well, we don't know yet because it's proposed, right? And then you're seeing the people that are like, the whole world's going to end. Watch out. We're all going to die, right? And obviously what you and I think are like, wait a second, we'll figure this out, whatever it is. We just don't know where it's heading yet, right? So let's pay attention and let's see where this ends, because losses are still coming out. This is a proposed settlement. The Department of Justice is getting involved.
Yeah, they sure are getting hot this week.
Yeah, so we don't know yet, but is it going to change? Definitely. But dude, what doesn't change, right? It's like, and now it's our turn. Our industry is now going to take a bigger step into bigger changes, but that's okay. It creates a bigger opportunity for those that are still going to be in this business. And that's how I see it. That's why I say nothing's going to change. Why? Because everything's always changing. And dude, you and I and everyone listening in, that's our world. We live in consistent change. And that's why we say nothing is going to change, because we're always having to adapt.
Yes. The only thing consistent in life is change, folks, right? And that's just part of it. With that NAR settlement and everybody talking out there, and now the Department of Justice, let's talk about first inside your organizations. You know, Tristan runs multiple teams, multiple organizations. Are all the agents in Cali right now, or are you national?
We're national in different parts, but the majority of them are still in California. The way that it works is we run more of a referral type business, right? Because we had to get around the legalities of it. My team being in like EXP, KW, Compass, Douglas Elliman, Berkshire, REMA, everywhere. And so the way that it worked simply is, in some cases we co-brand together. In some cases it's a straight referral.
So in all those teams dealing with all those agents, have you ever spent any time teaching agents? This is a question for myself. How to use a buyer broker agreement?
No, believe it or not, I never had before, man. I never had before. Because you and I, you and I come from a world of online leads, right?
Yes.
And the way that online leads work to at least have the best results with them is you create less friction. And when you create less friction, you create the opportunity for the buyer through the online process to connect with the agent, because it's not a used car salesman. Well, come over here. We'll sign you up over here for this and that. It's like red flag, red flag, red flag. And what we've done is saying, well, we're going to remove that. You want to see a property? Great. We'll meet you at the property. Right. And it created a great amount of success so that we have a larger conversion rate. Right.
Absolutely.
But now the fact that they added that, now it adds a different layer of complexity. But still, I think when you look at that piece of the proposed settlement, I actually see it as a benefit, because now, since it's going to be hopefully part of the law, then we can go in and say, hey, look, this is how it works. And now, as I know what can happen, are we going to have a contract for one property, right? Or are we going to have a contract for the life of this relationship? And if it becomes for the life of this relationship, we better do a really good job, because they could be like, I'm out. And then are we really going to go after them and be like, I still want my commitment? Imagine those lawsuits tying up the court system, dude. It's not going to work.
No, it's not. And if you look at the language in the current California Association of Realtors buyer broker, like, buyer can cancel anytime. Just send an email, right? So it's not even like that.
How binding is it? Yeah.
No, it's not binding. Like, I just looked at it again on Tuesday. I was all, well, no doubt all the associations will most likely incorporate some kind of new agreements, right?
Yeah, I agree. It's all going to be, I think we're going to see local, and then we're going to see state, right? Yeah. If this goes through. And then nationally, they'll be like, this is a recommendation. But dude, some states are already functioning like that, like Seattle, in Washington, all of Washington. They do that. So I think it's a good thing, but let's see how it rolls out. I'm not sure yet.
I mean, here's the thing. Number one, every challenge is a damn gift, right? And I like getting presents. Every challenge is a gift. Number two is the hardworking agents who are comfortable with pivoting will thrive. Just like any kind of market, any kind of professional job. If things change, the ones who get it are going to change. Like, what do you think surgeons said once they started bringing like all the robots into the operating room?
Yeah, that's so true, man.
Right? Have you started giving the agents in your organization any training around this buyer broker procedure?
We have. In fact, as soon as we saw the proposed settlement, that the next 3 days, we just spent a lot of time looking through what we currently do and how we shift over into doing some type of a presentation, some type of a meetup, some type of a download that explains what we offer, what we do, and why it's important to work together in this manner. So yeah, we definitely have. And I think it created a lot more clarity for the buyer's agent, which was cool to see. I'm like, oh, okay, awesome. And more importantly, it really created a lot more clarity as to the value that the buyer's agent brings to the buyer. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then that's why I was like, oh, this is an opportunity, man.
Yeah.
Definitely an opportunity.
I mean, so we've had our VIP buyer guide, probably pulled half of it from you once upon a time, right? We've had our VIP buyer guide, giving it to my buyer side agents. And, you know, the use was, the agents weren't consistently using it, right?
Yeah.
However, for everybody listening and watching, my advice to you is, you know, put something together. In fact, if you want mine, just leave a comment on here and I can send you mine. Tristan, I'll send it to you too, because, you know, I've been working with Jason Fladley through Perry's mastermind, and I'm real good at presentations now after working with Jason. So,
yeah, send it over, man. I'd love to look at it.
Yeah, totally. Good. And I would love to get all your feedback. Same with everyone who's listening and viewing. If you get it, if you have any feedback, I want to know, because I want to make it super tight.
You know what's a good place to start too? Once you start going that way, I know NAR released 105 more ways that agents or buyer's agents earn their value or something along those lines. I'll find it. I'll send it over to you.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. And I've been telling the agents in my team and agents I get to coach is California Association of Realtors is offering that buyer agent specialty course for free right now. Is it CAR or is it NAR? I don't know. Maybe it's both. Take it. It's free. Get that buyer agent certification, right?
Very true.
Tristan, when was the last time you advised anybody to get any kind of certification?
Dude, I don't think I ever did. I'm always like, I don't know if you should. You should just go get the actual experience. But now it's like, okay, might be a good idea. I just texted it to you. I found it. I texted the 105 ways there.
So sweet. Yeah, I'll put the link. We'll have the producers of the episode put the link in the episode. It won't be me. That's why I changed it, because I don't know how to produce a podcast episode. So, yeah. What should agents across the country be doing right now?
They should really take the time to do three things. And they all have to do with one thing. But the three things, it's time to reimagine, recreate your mission, vision, and values. Like, what do you actually stand for? Because I can bet you anything that the consumer looking in at who you are, at your brand, they don't really know who to connect with. Is it clear? Who is your audience? And as you reimagine what you stand for now, your mission, what you're shooting for in the future, your vision, and your values, like who you are, what you stand for. When you get those down, you, by accident or reverse into it, who your audience is. Who are you trying to attract? And the clearer you are with that, the more success you're going to have. Because the number one thing that you're watching on the media right now about agents, how the consumer feels about the real estate agents, it's pretty sad. It's disgusting. It's like,
totally.
I can't believe that they actually feel that the majority of agents are that bad, like greedy, awful. They don't deserve that much money. They're overpaid. All this stuff. It's like they're only door openers. That hurts to watch and read. And I think part of that has to fall on us saying, okay, we may be part of that problem overall. We need to do a better job. What can we do? Right? It's a lot more down to actual value. When it comes to value, we have to be clear. What value is that we're offering? Let's outline it. And let's be clear to specifically tell those people we're working with, this is what it looks like, right? And it all comes down to attracting over chasing too.
Yeah.
Like if I'm attracting you, Suneet, through social media, through Google, through all of these different avenues, that's already much better than me having to chase you and doing it the old school way. There's nothing wrong with calling expireds for sale by owners and all that, but dude, I would rather you come to me through attraction, because now you already found value in what I was putting out there, that you're coming and saying, I want to work with you. And I don't mind paying you. I want to work with you. I'm impressed with what I see. And that changes the game. So I think the three things you need to do, listening in, it's time to look at your mission, vision, and values. What do we stand for, and who are we trying to attract? Is the message clear to them?
I love that. So mission, vision, and values. Absolutely. And for everyone listening and watching, there's so many great resources out there, right? Find a framework that makes sense. Ask yourself the right questions. And I think in Patrick Bet-David's new book, that Know Your Enemy book, I don't know if you read it yet. He talks about building this stuff. I mean, there's so many articles on it you can get for free. Tristan, any resources you can think that would help people with that?
For mission, vision, and value, I think if we look at studying these few books instead of just reading them over the next few months, I think studying them means you sit with them longer, you take notes, you go back, you rephrase, you come up with your mission, vision, and values, go and check and saying, does it match what these authors are telling me with the experience they've had? I think that's what it looks like versus just passively reading. You study them.
Yeah, you always said that. And I love the way that you read. I see pictures of it in my head. So yes, carry on.
Yeah. And these are the books, man. These have been valuable to me and to other people too, but Built to Last and Good to Great by Jim Collins and Jerry Posas. Those books, I think it was Built to Last, was used by Jeff Bezos to build out Amazon. And that's how important these books are to our world, right? Built to Last, Great and Good to Great, both. And if you look at them, they outline exactly why companies are successful and why companies fail, and then the different types of leadership, and then the vision. How leaders focus on vision, and when they hire the right people, they continue to focus on vision. They're not managers, because if you hire the right people, they're led by the vision. They're not led by you saying, hey, you forgot to do that over there. What happened? Right? And those two books I would study along with the book by Seth Godin. I think this is probably his best book. This is Marketing.
Yeah.
And it really shows you, for us, where we're at in real estate, exactly what to do next, because it's almost talking to us right now. And his books are short.
Yeah.
So This is Marketing shows you, oh, damn, this is how I transition from these old way of doing business to this new way of where we're going. This is beautiful. So those would be the 3 books. And then maybe I'd layer it with Simon Sinek's book. If you want to start with Why, reread that one. Yes. and take that as part of creating your mission, vision, and values, because it's why you're doing it. Who's your audience and why do they care about you? Why should they?
I love that. Especially This is Marketing and Start with Why. Both books that you told me to read a long ass time ago, and I did. So I'm thankful for that. I mean, if Seth Godin, go and sign up for his newsletter too, and just get those little tips in your email every day. Right? You're right. It's really good. So what about on the opposite side of that, or on the one level higher than that, for the team leaders and brokerage owners?
For the team leaders and broker owners, I think if you're still focusing on the things that really make us tick, and that's recruiting, retention, and ROI. Those are the 3 R's. And they're changing a little bit though. And that's because you're still watching a little bit of the old school way of doing it. You look at some brokerages, they're still doing it the old way, and then they're suffering through all the changes that are happening. But if you still focus on those 3 things, through the new era and culture that's being set because of AI, because of all the changes that are happening in our industry specifically, you're like, oh, I understand. Retention happens through the culture that you set, the communication, the examples that you set, through the vision and the mission. People that are now starting to come into the workforce and are brand new to it, all these brand new agents, a lot of them want to belong to something that's bigger than themselves. And you see that purpose that drives these companies becomes more important. And that has a lot to do with recruitment, right? And one thing Keller Williams has done well is the culture piece, right? Mm-hmm. The culture piece is really important outside of everything else, because they do a lot of things bad, obviously. But
every company does, yeah.
Every company does, man. But the culture piece they've done a good job with, if you notice that. And it's like, that's always been interesting. So I always look, I'm not KW, but I look at them and I'm like, what can I learn from that culture piece from them? That they continue to maintain a good grip of agents and moving forward, even though they're a little late on some things. I think that's important, number one. And when you look at recruiting, think of the attraction piece. So it goes back to vision, mission, and values. What's attracting those agents, the group of agents, to your company? And I don't know that we actually outline that for ourselves, that where we have an avatar of okay, I want to attract this agent and then this agent. This is going to be my messaging because I'm solving these problems for them. And this is important to them. Now I'm going to go on social. I'm going to build a newsletter, my website, everything, all this marketing goes out to that specific niche. Because we tend to do this as team leaders and brokers because I've done it. I'm going to just grab everyone. And when you try to grab everyone, you grab no one. You mean nothing. But when I focus in and I say, I want to target this type of agent, what happens is you do so great with that type of agent that it feels like you're talking to them. It feels like you're helping them. And then they're like, damn, I love Suneet. And then they say that to other agents, And that's how you start attracting other agents and you start growing because you focus so well on one avatar. And that's a big mistake that I made at the very beginning. I'm like, I'm going to cover everything. And I'm like, oh, damn, I ended up covering no one. Let's refocus. So that's on recruiting. And then ROI, that's probably the biggest challenge right now because things are changing so damn fast in our industry with that, right? With online leads, it's like, wait a second. Things even got a little bit more complicated with the FCC getting involved with the type of
a little bit.
So it's like, okay, buyers now have to function this way. Online leads, oh no, they're getting tightened up. So now we're going to see a pivot or a shift into focusing more on the listing side. And you're going to start seeing companies come out and saying, this is how we focus on listing opportunities, on sellers. So we're in the middle of it on that piece, but ROI is still going to come down to one thing. This is a relationship business. This business is strongly based on referrals. Referrals from creating longer term client to client, because one will refer another, and client to agent relationships. So this is why I'm looking at this and saying, what are our biggest opportunities right now? Reaching out to our database, reaching out to our past clients, our core sphere. And I've gotten heat on this, Suneet, but we're doing it anyway. We're in Southern California. So a lot of my clientele here, they already know about the lawsuit. They've already seen the CNN article about 6%. They're the ones telling me shit. Okay.
Right.
And I'm like, and so when people on Lab Coats or anywhere else say, you should be bringing that up to your clients, I'm like, I don't think you're actually doing business. That's why you think that. Right.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing business, it's already come up multiple times in listing presentations. It has. It's already come up multiple times when we're with buyers. It has. And so instead of that continuing to happen, we're reaching out to our core past clients and our core sphere. These are people who know us by name when we're in like the supermarket. So sure. I did the live, Suneet, last week a few times so people could see what it looks like. And it's simple. It's this. This is creating relationships and making sure that you're listening to the people that are your past clients and love you already. It's me texting you, Suneet, because let's say you're a past client of mine.
Okay.
Hey, Suneet, do you have 5 minutes? I have a real estate question for you for a change. And then you'd respond back, because this is what happens. You'd respond back and say, yeah. And you probably would put a little smiley face. That's what I give back. You're like, that's weird. Okay. Yeah, sure. Call me. And then I call, I say, hey, Suneet, it's Tristan. I've got a real estate question for you for a change. And then they laugh, right? And here's the part. I'm sincere about it. I want to know what my past clients think about this. And then here's the question. It's a little bit open. But I say, Suneet, with everything that's going on in real estate right now in the media, what do you think's going to happen? Or what do you think's going on? And then I just shut up. And then two things happen. One goes directly to the settlement, right? And then the other one goes directly to the market, affordability, interest rates. And I let it go wherever it's going. And with that, the most amazing conversations happen because this is what we do wrong. I call up and I'm like, hey, do you have 5 minutes? It's a business call. Hey, I'm just touching base with you. Hey, how's your home? And then I want to talk to you about real estate. I want to talk to you about real estate. You're not ready for that shit.
Yeah.
But now I'm asking, what do you think? You tell me, Suneet, what you think. And then guess what happens? Then you're like, what do you think, Tristan?
Yes.
And we just set it up so that now you're listening, because now you're going to listen to what I think and you care because I cared about what you're saying. And that has been like the biggest ninja move in the last 3 weeks, man, because these are the conversations we're having. Tristan, blah, 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 this is what we think. And we're like, oh, damn. Okay, cool. And what do you think? I'm like, well, I think you're right on that one. And this is what we see happening too. And then this is what happens. Man, I'm tired of living in California. I get those.
Yeah.
I'm like, where would you go? This is what I get. Well, I don't know. And then we start talking. Oh, you know what? I was talking to my son and they wanted to move. They bring up real estate on their own.
Always.
And you just need to find a way when it comes to the third R, the ROI, to connect deeper with those people you've already done business with, because that becomes so important to your future business. So that's what I would say. If you want to focus on those things, 3 things, right? Recruiting, retention, and ROI. As a team leader and as a broker owner, that's not going to change. It's all based on relationships. It's actually, Suneet, I just came up with it. It's the 4th R surrounds the 3 R's, relationships. There you go.
Oh, dude, good.
There you go. That was good. I love talking to you. Shit, we come up with good stuff.
You'd better trademark that before we put this episode out.
Funny.
So I want to circle back real quick on KW and their culture. As an owner of a brokerage, owner of a team, owner of a mortgage company, I got a bunch of companies. What do you think? I don't know why I said that, maybe just to hear myself talk, but why do you think that are in your perspective, what is KW doing right with their culture that we can learn from?
They took time to write out their values, and I don't remember it, but it's like 14 TCE something. Remember those things they put on the wall?
Yeah. Win-win.
Yeah, that. Yeah. Whatever it is, that's on every market center, right? And I think that, because I was thinking about this, I'm like, what did Gary and the team do so well in growing? And it comes down to this. They've segmented their big company into all of these little companies that make the agents feel like they belong somewhere, right? Imagine lab coat agents, but now I go lab coat agents California, lab coat agents Arizona, lab coat agents Washington, and then I go even further, lab coat agents LA, lab coat agents Seattle, right? And what happens is, because they're getting so down to niche, they're connecting with that small audience, and then they're telling them, this is how you function. This is what you believe in. This is what we believe in. And our vision then aligns with a local group that then takes it to a bigger realm. And this is why they also pack the house with the events, dude. 18,000 real estate agents at an event. That's, to me, that...
What? Is that how much it was last time? 18,000?
Yeah. Two months ago, 18,000 people. I'm like, how do they do that? It's those market centers, they push people. They're like, hey, do this. So it's come down to breaking the bigger piece down to the small pieces, right? And then having those small pieces have a purpose driving this message. And I think I can learn from that. In fact, we're learning from it. We're saying, how can we do that better, right? In whatever company I'm in, it doesn't matter. But they've done a great job because of that.
Something like the ALC, where people have purpose and almost some sort of inherent ownership over a part of the company, right?
Yeah, the ownership piece is definitely feeling like you own the decision or part of the decision as to where the company is heading, right?
Yes.
Because I don't think I don't think that, or else they'd be the number one, right? All these companies. I don't know that profit share and rev share is the driving factor to culture, to massive growth.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it comes down to leadership, vision, mission, and the values that you align with. So that Suneet, if you're starting a company and you're saying this is what I believe in and it matches what I believe because of the culture, I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Right. I think that trumps everything else. And this is why you have big companies like Apple, right, have this amazing culture, or other companies like Tesla, right?
Sure.
They have this amazing culture because of the leadership and the things they believe, right? Think differently. And Elon, I want to go to Mars. Oh, I can back that, right?
Yeah.
So
well, it's like, with the values and the mission and your vision, you're building like your principles. And if you come from principles all the time and they're your principles, then you're going to win for your definition of winning, period. So I know you just came out with a book, dude, and I haven't read it. Sorry. Okay.
I'm going to go to Amazon right now. Like shit.
Yeah, like here's the thing: is like you've been talking about writing a book. I think the whole time that we've known each other.
Long time.
I'm in the middle of writing one right now. It is an endeavor with all the other stuff you got to do. That scheduled book writing time keeps on getting moved over, right? In fact, I moved over mine today, right off my schedule to next week. So, dude, what's the book called? Yeah, right.
It's called Real Estate Prospecting, and the subheading is Create $1 Million Life Through Relationships, Online Leads, Technology, and Social Media. And I'll tell you the story behind that. I originally got connected to the publisher through Chris Smith. Chris Smith. Yeah. And he said, man, you need to write a book. Hit up Wiley. I'll connect you. So he hit me up. He connected me to Wiley Publishing. And I pitched them because they're like, okay, cool. We're listening. We want you to write a book. We saw who you were. We want you to write a book. Pitch it. And I'm like, okay, this is it, right? And I'm like, it's the routine. It's the evening routine in the morning. And they're like, no. Listen, they're like, who's your biggest audience? I'm like, real estate agents. And they're like, you're going to write a real estate book. I'm like, but I don't want to write a real estate book.
Right.
And then they made me write a real estate book. So I wrote a real estate book, even though that was not my first choice. And it's a great book, let me tell you. But my first choice was something different. So anyway.
Well, I think that's great that you went the traditional publishing route.
Yeah.
Where you actually pitched the book. I haven't heard anyone say that in like a decade, dude. Like,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
shout out to Chris for the hookup.
So true. It was because of him.
Last time I saw him, I was with you, actually. Last 2 times I saw him, I was with you, and it was both times in San Francisco.
That's cool, man. It's been a while.
Yeah. It's been a while, yeah. So it's about, man, as soon as you mentioned, like...
It's broken into 3 parts. First part is working on yourself, because as leaders, we forget how hard it is to show up our best selves for those around us, right? But when we do, man, everything else goes a lot smoother, right?
Yep.
So that's number 1. It's broken, that part. Then the middle part, which is, this is what prospecting looks like, and we mix a lot of tech into old school. So we show processes, we show systems. I've got graphs and charts and everything. And then the last piece, where real estate is heading and how we can leverage staff members, VAs, and just grow out an organization if you choose to do it that way.
Sure.
So that's broken down into those 3 sections.
I love that, because you had mentioned like morning and evening routine. Prior to us hanging out, I didn't even know what it was. And you're the one that told me to read about Hal Elrod, right? And then you introduced me to him on a live call. You're like, hey, hop on Zoom. And there was Hal. And like Hal started giving me crap about something I was not prepared. I don't know if you remember that or not, but it was totally...
I do remember that.
Yeah. You're like, hey, hop on the Zoom. I'm all, oh, I'm live. Oh, there's Hal Elrod.
That's so funny. That's really funny.
But I mean, dude, you got to show up at your best if you're going to lead people. And if you're leading people, we're not only talking about being a CEO, team leader, brokerage owner. You're leading clients. You're leading these trusted customers who are looking to you for leadership. So great, dude. I'm going to get it. The lead follow-up stuff, like, give me some nugget that the viewer and listener can take from the lead follow-up part, because
yeah, there are a lot of pieces on the lead follow-up part. I break it down to the simplest form. So, and the cool thing is we still do this, dude. Like on Thursdays, I do this live. So I reach out to people and they're like, there's no way it's that easy. I'm like, you're hearing it. It is that easy. I'll give you two things. One, the breakdown of calling any online lead that's coming through first. And the breakdown's super easy. It's call, text, email, nudge text. And hopefully you're doing that, the first four, within the first 3 minutes, I hope.
Yeah.
And then the fourth one, you can do it within 15 to 25 minutes as a nudge text. But the call, Suneet, I'm calling you, rings 3 or 4 times. I hang up. I wait 20 seconds. I call you right back up 20 seconds later, so it doesn't go directly to voicemail, because if I do it too quick, it will, right? Then if you have a voicemail, sometimes I leave one, not that you're going to check it, but it serves the purpose of how I text. So if I leave you a voicemail, on the second one, I'm like, hey, blah, 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 whatever. I'm going to pick up the phone and then text you. I'm going to say, hey, Suneet, I just left you a voicemail. Sorry I couldn't reach you. That's my text. And it says, you were on our website. Are you looking for a house or a condo? Are you looking to be on the beach or on the mountains? Are you looking for a fixer or something to move into? It's always either or. It's not yes or yes or no, but no. Then I grab that text, and that becomes the email. I simply grab it, put it in the body, subject line, Suneet, I just tried calling you. And then the body, same text. And then I go to the next call. And then 15 minutes later, if you haven't responded, I nudge text you. Let me know, Suneet, so I know what to send you.
Yeah, but let me know. You told me that years ago, and I've sent that sucker millions of times, probably at this point. Something interesting. So you don't let the automation send the email?
No, I don't, man. I don't, because sometimes I feel like it's just, I do a lot of tweaks, so I learn how people respond back, right? And it's different. And here where we live, we notice that executives, but we're in Malibu, so we get a lot of executives or CEOs or board members. They respond to email. They respond to email more than phone, which is nuts to me. But it becomes important. So tweaking the messaging and testing things out helps a lot.
Yeah, I mean, something I learned from good old Dan Kennedy. We know nothing. We test everything.
Yeah, we don't know anything, man. And that leads me into the second part of this. I created an outline where when we're calling, I'm always thinking of, it's an acronym, PSLV, PS love. Remember, it's PS love. Okay. PS love.
Okay. I can remember that.
Easy. The very first thing I'm doing when I get you on the phone is I'm giving you permission to waste my time. And we do the opposite as real estate agents, because we're like, oh, shit, you're not pre-approved? You're already working with an agent? Right? Oh,
yeah, please, yeah.
For me, it's Suneet, it's Tristan. Just visit our website from whatever. Listen, are you looking for, right? And then you're like, no, I'm just browsing. We get that all the time. Or the worst one, my son clicked on it. I don't know how the hell that happened. All the time. So I immediately go into, I'm going to give them permission. I'm going to make them feel like it's okay to waste my time, because that's when they'll open up. And I say, Suneet, yeah, listen, don't even worry about it, man. I just don't want to spam you. I did this yesterday live. I don't want to spam you. I want to make your time on my website, even if you never buy, as enjoyable as possible. So tell me.
That's so good, bro. That's so good. I don't want to spam you. That's so good. Reader downer. Okay.
Goes right through them, and they're like, oh, okay, cool. A little old lady yesterday looking at a mobile home. She's like, oh, okay, yeah. And then she went and told me everything.
And she has a $5 million house to sell, probably. And so, yeah. Yeah.
So funny. It might be. It might be. All right. So permission, right? P. And then I get into specifics immediately. And here's the specific thing. I ask specifically this or that. And I'm saying, Suneet, so listen, so I don't spam you. Are you looking for a home up on the hill or closer to the beach? Or are you looking for a condo or a house? Or are you only looking in Westlake Village or are you also open to Calabasas? I get specific. And then the next part is L, PSLV, PS love. L is I shut up and listen. Because you know what we do? We don't listen enough. This is what happens because I hear recordings. We give the specific question, this or that, and then we get uncomfortable with a little bit of silence or the wrong response that we thought. And we're like, oh, but what about this? And what? And then we just fuck it. So
you're so right, dude. You do listen to calls.
So shut up and listen, right? And then they'll tell you, last week, you know what? I want to be closer to the hills. I'm like, oh, interesting. Closer to the hills. That means the way she said it, I was like, I think she might own another one. I said, why do you want to be closer to the hills? Just going further with that question. And she's like, well, we have a house on the beach. And I'm like, oh, but we want to be closer up so we can look down. And so I just went further. I didn't say anything about the other house. I kept digging into why is this important to her, right? I said, oh, do you want to be up higher or do you want to be more inland? Because I'm listening.
Thoughtful.
I'm listening. And then the last one for V, I'm listening to give value, right? Because now she says, well, is there a difference between being up higher or more in the valley? And that's my opportunity to give value. Well, you know, if you are up higher and you have a view, those homes are worth a lot more than the ones that are in the valley, in the back with no view. It's like, oh, that makes sense, Tristan. Value. And then it goes back to specific. So tell me, do you want land, a lot of land here, or do you prefer just the view? And then I shut up and listen and I give value again. And here's the biggest piece to this because we circulate. At the close, I do two things. I say, Suneet, listen, I'm going to do two things for you then. I have a good idea of what you want. I'm going to text you so you have all my information. If you have any questions, or if I actually am spamming you, just let me know, right? Text me back. And then number two, since you already live here in Malibu, I'm going to send you some information as to what it looks like to live up on a mountain, some situations that you may want to consider versus being in the valley. I'll text that over to you. It's a PDF. And then you read it when you have a time, maybe this weekend, and I'll follow up with you on Monday and tell me what you think. Tell me if that made sense to you. And then I shut up and they're like, okay. I hang up, I text, and then I follow up. We go over the PDF. And dude, that value, that's an online lead. Google PPC. They're like, we're not getting anywhere else. And that's how you lock people in.
Dude, I love that. A selfish follow-up question for that, because we're both leveraged with ISAs. Those leads going to overseas ISA?
No, not anymore. They were for a long period of time.
Really?
I know. They were for a long period of time. And there's nothing wrong with it. I just felt like I wasn't doing a good enough job training them, right? So what we did instead is the overseas ISAs that we have are just simply nurturing. So if we've had a conversation in our database with people, they're just nurturing, making sure it's smooth, making sure they're getting the communication. Anytime we see anybody that's coming in brand new, we like to have a conversation with them as an agent. So one of the team members goes through, gives them a call, and dude, the thing that we've seen in our area is that we have a better ratio of connecting deeper and converting if it's an agent locally, right? So we've shifted our ISA team to do a lot more of the nurturing.
It's fascinating because I have a different perspective, but also we're not running as many Google leads as you. I'm still heavy portals, right? Flex, RDC. And we just want to get that appointment on the first call. and get the agent face to face. And then we used to have the ISAs do the nurturing. However, I have found there to be a higher rate of success when the agent actually does the nurturing, because they just not say, "Hey, I'm Suneet, Tristan's assistant."
Yeah.
I say, "Well, where the hell is Suneet? Or where the hell is
what happened to Suneet?
Is Tristan?" Yeah, right. So,
Well,
anyhow, dude, good. See, I love that. There's so many great ways to do this.
I love it.
Yeah. So, a couple years ago, you were the first that taught me this, of course, and I'm gonna keep saying that because every time it's true. You told me to start making videos and post more on social, and dude, you took the content game in real estate to a friggin' whole other level, bro.
Thanks, man.
Tell me about like your content plan, because I know you guys have a program too that helps agents with their content. Which,
look, if people need help with
it, lots of emails about it all the time, and I haven't unsubscribed. I love everyone. So,
yeah, I
tell
think
me about that.
The key to if people just want to run content, if you look at where the consumer is, five top most visited websites in the world, top five. You've got Google as number 1. Four.
Okay, dude.
And X is number 5. These are most visited websites on the planet, and 4 of those are social. So you've got to think, like, as an entity, as a brand, as an individual agent, what's your plan for all 5 things? I mean, Google itself, there's already multiple things there that you can do, right? There's SEO, there's PPC, there's the reviews, there's Google My Business, which is a Google profile now. You better start using Gemini, their new AI, which is almost as good as ChatGPT, almost. But there's a lot of opportunity at Google. I mean, YouTube's still tied to the Google search, right? And we get business from our YouTube videos. But again, you have to be niched. What's your plan for Facebook, right? Is it video? Is it lives? Is it reels? Is it written content, pictures? Same thing with Instagram and X, and then TikTok. But the idea behind this is this. We're moving faster into a world that requires you to attract those people that want to work with you. And when you can turn social into an attraction business, that's when you start seeing the growth happen faster. Because the world we're in doesn't want to be called anymore. They don't want to be reached out to when they didn't ask for it. They never asked for permission.
Yeah.
Right? And this is in fact why Zillow and Realtor.com have done so well. Because people are asking to be reached out to. It's different.
Yes.
Yeah, so now you shift that mentality over to social media and you find the niche, and then you're able to monetize this and create a business out of it. But a lot of us don't see it that way. So yeah, that's what we help with, Suneet.
Yeah, I love that offer, man. So when you go to sit down, I think it's super valuable for anybody out there who wants to create way more content, which you should. I mean, I don't know, but we publish 16 short form videos per day, 10 tweets, 10 LinkedIn posts, like we go crazy, because it's great ROI. It's oftentimes very free. You have a VA help with some of the production. When you go to create, what is the first platform that you think of to create for?
I think long form. I think YouTube. I think YouTube still has even though Facebook has 3.06 billion monthly active users as of last month, they're the biggest platform. YouTube still has a deeper reach because of the wider audience. So you've got a 5-year-old watching Minecraft videos, and you've got a 90-year-old trying to figure out why they have back pain, right?
Yeah.
All of those. And you have really the widest reach. And then, so I think of YouTube, even though TikTok, here are some cool numbers. TikTok, the average user on TikTok spends 53 minutes on TikTok. YouTube, the average user spends 47 minutes. So pretty close, right?
Pretty close.
Pretty close. But you only have 188 million Americans on TikTok, and you've got 260 million on YouTube. So a lot more. So I'd say for me, number one choice is still YouTube, because if you are watching my video, my average watch time that the consumer sees on my YouTube video is 6.5 minutes.
Wow.
First, I go to TikTok.
3 seconds?
16 seconds, which is not bad. 16 seconds.
Yeah.
But dude, 6.5 minutes versus 16 seconds. I'll take the 6.5 minutes, please.
Yeah.
Right. And you have a lot less people creating content on YouTube, like dramatically less. It's the number one platform where most people don't post at all. And I'm like, the biggest opportunity is on YouTube because nobody's posting. Why? Because it requires this long form content. It gets a little scary. My number one place, YouTube. Second is normal Facebook, right? Because of Facebook groups. I can build out a group locally, or I could just engage on my personal. That's still my favorite.
And a big group reach too, right? Which, it's awesome.
And then third, probably tie between TikTok and Instagram. The silent one that I think is going to be big, man, is X. X is gaining a lot of momentum, but I still have to personally figure out what route I want to take with it. Because that's also my lowest amount of followers. Like, it's very low.
Yeah. And X, honestly, has become my favorite social content to consume.
Mine too. I literally, the first place I go to in the mornings is X, because I'm following a certain amount of people that give me the news and the latest on real time. I don't have to get the interpretation of the media. I want data. I want people that understand the world that you and I are in. And I want to know what they're saying based on facts. That's why I love X.
Yeah. Dude, so much gold. So much gold in this episode, bro. Let me ask you, if somebody wants to connect with you, man, you just dropped so much gold. I have all these notes. Like, I texted my admin during the call and said, hey, make sure that you do this. If somebody wants to connect with you further, dude, where should they go?
Just follow me on Instagram. It's Tristan Ahumada, and message me, or just Google me and then find me somewhere. But best one's Instagram, because I'm always checking that one.
Yeah, always checking. That's the one thing that I go to Instagram for, is to check my messages and see how many people watched my last reel.
That's true also. That's true also.
Yes, vanity metrics. You doing any speaking gigs you got planned for the summer yet?
Dude, I've got a few coming up. But I'm gonna also be truthful to you. I hate traveling and speaking. After COVID, I mean, for me, it sucked, but it was also great, because I'm like, I didn't realize how much I hated traveling.
Yeah.
Until during COVID, I'm like, man, I hate traveling. The only reason I like traveling was because I got to bring my family wherever we went.
Yeah.
It was cool. And then I love speaking and talking to people, but
you're good at it. It's so good.
I lose so much time, because you and I are always creating content, dealing with certain situations with our companies, meetings that we have to keep other things going. So I literally lose 2 full days every time I travel to speak.
Minimum.
Or not
minimum.
It's bad. So I'm like, I would rather not speak and just get to 100,000 people on a good video, and it serves a purpose, and then say, if you want me to speak, this is what I charge, because it eats up a lot of my time, multiple days. And dude, if people pay, I'll go.
Yeah.
So I'm going a couple of times this summer, but that's it.
Yeah, same, dude. And last year I think I did like 17 trips or something, and
holy cow, dude.
And like, mine isn't like you like drive to San Diego. Mine's like fly every time.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, all that travel, like, my wife was mad. My kids missed me. I come home from a trip, decompress, go back to being a dad. And now, oh, look, got to go again 17 times in a year. Right. So, yeah, I'd rather make content and try and impact more people at a broader scale. Absolutely. Well,
I learned that from Seth Godin. When I was talking to Seth, he's like, Tristan, this is what you do. This is a side note. He said, I only speak if it's, I don't even speak if it's New York anymore. I just speak if it's Manhattan. If I can drive there, I will speak. And he goes, I'll speak for free sometimes, right? If it's local. But outside of that, he goes, this is my price. I make it so high, Tristan, that it makes me think like I'd be stupid not to go. And that's the reason. I'm like, oh, and that's where I learned it from.
Yeah, that's something I learned from John. Like John raises his rates to speak all the time, Sheplak. And he's all, look, I get paid per hour for coaching. I got to travel. If you cover my cost, then I can go.
Yeah.
Right. Good. Well, everybody go out there. Number one, go to Lab Coat Agents. Number two, buy Tristan's book because I'm sure it's good. I'm going to get it. Number three, Tristan, thank you so much for everything throughout my career, man. You've been a beacon of like success and opportunity to me. And I will appreciate you for that always. So
dude, I appreciate our friendship, and you know I love you. So
yeah, I do, and you know that it's like we got to get the kids hanging out. It's been last time we were in
Coronado. That was a really cool thing we did around the fireplace and
he has other marshmallows. Yeah, dude, I only had one kid then.
I know, and now it's like, dude, it's a family, right?
It's cool. Yeah, it is. Not a bunch of dogs anymore. Now I got just kids. So yeah. Well, everybody, I hope you go follow Tristan. You go to Lab Coat Agents and buy his book. And I hope you got something out of this episode. If you did, please share, like, and subscribe. We have plenty other great episodes that I want you to listen to with additional great guests. And we'll see you next time on another episode of the Reside Platform Podcast. See you later.